I'm thoroughly convinced that my brother is the reason that I cry at the end of Terminator 2. Which, I don't know if everyone here has seen it, but it's not particularly a sad movie. But I lose it pretty much every time I watch it. I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I'm not a small guy. But for as medium build that I am, my brother is a giant. Like, he is epic. And he was born 4 years before me, so I was kind of the runt of the litter as a little kid. And as much as I would try to get bigger and keep up with them, it didn't matter. Like, if I got bigger and taller, he would grow wider and stronger. And but I idolized him. I loved my brother. I still love my brother. And I wanted to hang out with him as much as possible, which any younger brothers out there will know that means that I got to do all of the test runs of anything that him and his friends wanted to do. When it was decided that we should ride an ice cooler down the stairs of our deck, I was the test buddy for it. They strapped me to it and set me down. When we thought it would be fun to jump out of a tree into our creek of that much water, I was the one that they were like, "Do it, man, it'll be great!" And I did, and I went up to about here of mud, and it took them about 2.5 hours to actually dig me out. Now, it was fine. I survived all of these things. Obviously, I'm still here. The worst part of it was really was that as long as I wanted to hang out with them and wanted to seem like I was cool and like, hey, he can keep doing this stuff, was I was not allowed to cry. I did once or twice, and pretty much the answer to it was a resounding punch in the chest to get me to shut up, because we couldn't let Mom know that we were doing this to Dave. So that was pretty much his answer. He was like, if he can't breathe, he can't cry. And that was true. And like I said, my brother's a giant, and he's got hands that look like baseball mitts, but they're made of steel. So I became a master of just like holding my tears in, of just like suppressing it no matter what. And a fun thing in my house was, because everyone was older than me, my brother's 4 years older than me, my sister's 3 years older than me, my dad was a very cool, hip kind of guy. He'd get home from work and he wouldn't care. So when Mom would go out for the weekends and Dad would stay in, we would watch movies that I, as a young child, probably shouldn't be watching. Movies like Predator and Commando and anything else where Arnold Schwarzenegger kills a million people. And they wouldn't really block my eyes. So I was a young child and watching these incredibly violent movies, and it was terrible and awful. And I remember watching The Land Before Time, and I mean, anybody, come on, like when Littlefoot's mom just anybody in this room would lose it still to this day. I'm thoroughly convinced of that. I couldn't, because I started to resounding punch in the chest. And so we're watching Terminator 2, Judgment Day, and we're near the end. If anybody hasn't seen it yet, close your ears because I'm going to give spoiler alerts. That part when the T-100 is talking to John, and he's talking to him about, I know why you cried, something I could never do. Lowers himself into the molten steel, and does that final, like there's that scene of like just the final like thumbs up. Like, I don't know why. Lost it. It was tears. Like, just could not understand it. And my brother was sitting over there, he was like, shut up, you're ruining the movie. I was like, oh, why can't you go with them? It doesn't make sense. He's a machine, he can do it. My brother comes over and just bang him right in the chest. Didn't matter. For 20 minutes this went on. My dad's like, I don't know what to do. Punch him again, Joe. That's all we can do. So I just lost it, and to this day, that movie still sits with me. And pretty much the reason I blame my brother is when I was in 8th grade, my brother was a senior, and he got into a car accident, and it was kind of fairly serious. He rolled his Taurus. There was a car coming in his lane over a hill, and he swerved to miss him, rolled his car, and we were freaking out. And the irony is that we were watching Terminator 2 when we got the call that my brother was taken to the hospital and that we had to go recover the car and everything like that. He was fine. He was okay, but it was one of those kind of moments in your youth where you realize that your family can be broken apart, can be broken up, and it really scared me and kind of got to me. And so we go to the hospital, pick him up, and he's kind of jovial and joking around. He's like, what were you guys doing? And blah, blah, blah. And I kind of got tears I was like, well, you ruined it. We were watching Terminator 2. He goes, were you crying? I was like, well, I